Hi everyone. Let us continue memorizing from the book of Hebrews. So we memorized up to verse 9. Today we are going to memorize verse 10. So verse 10, 11 and 12 are taken from Psalm 102, 25 to 27. So I'll read all three together, but we'll memorize and reflect only on verse 10 today. So Hebrews chapter 1, verse 10, 11 and 12. And you, Lord, founded the earth in the beginning, and the heavens are the work of your hands. They will perish, but you remain. They will all grow old like a garment. Like a cloak, you will roll them up, and they will be changed. But you are the same, and your years will never end. That is Hebrews chapter 1, verse 10, 11 and 12, which are taken from Psalm 102, 25 to 27. So we will meditate and memorize verse 10 today. So I'll read that again. And you, Lord, founded the earth in the beginning, and the heavens are the work of your hands. And you, Lord, founded the earth in the beginning, and the heavens are the work of your hands. So when I was reading this, I immediately went back to the time of creation. So where do we read this? In the book of Genesis, right? So let's meditate from the book of Genesis. We'll start with Genesis chapter 1. I'll read couple of verses and then we'll continue meditating on that creation, right? Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void. The darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was moving over the face of the waters. So thus started the creation story, right? God started the entire creation. So when we read further, we see that God created the heavens, He created the earth, He created the sea, the waters, the animals, the plants, the sun, moon, stars, everything He created. And finally, He created man. So before creating man, He said, let us create man in our own image, in our likeness. Let us create man in our own image and likeness. So we are created in the image and likeness of God. So that is what makes man special, right? So we are created in the image and likeness of God. So what is that image and likeness? It is a soul that is created, right? It is a soul that is within us. The soul is created in the image and likeness of God. So we have a mind, body and soul. And the soul is created in the image and likeness of God, and that soul makes us special, right? So soul has a beginning, but it has no end. It is eternal. So God created it, so it has a beginning, but it has no end. So once our life on the earth is over, the soul will go back to the Creator. That makes man special. That separates us from animals, right? So there is sacredness to human life. So if you think more about that, right? So we can meditate on God's love. God has created us out of love. He has created us to have communion with us, right? So out of love, His love is like a generating love. Out of love, He has created everything. Out of love, He has created man. He has created man to have communion with Him. The entire creation didn't add to the joy of God, right? So God was infinite joy. God didn't need any of this to increase His joy. But out of love, He has created man. And when we think more about it, right? So He has planned everything. He has created us so beautifully. He has created us so intricately. So when I read on the Psalm 139, right? I always think about God's love. So let's just meditate on few verses from Psalm 139. For you formed my inward parts. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am wondrously made. Wonderful are your works. You know me right well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately wrought in the depths of the earth. Your eyes beheld my unformed substance. In your books were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there was none of them. How precious to me are your thoughts, O God! How vast is the sum of them! If I would count them, they are more than the sand. When I awake, I am still with you. So out of love, He has created us, right? So we should meditate on God's love. And one more thing that came to my mind is, God is infinite wisdom also, right? So he can see into the future. So he knew that man will sin and fall from that state of grace. So in his mind, he already had the salvation plan also. He planned everything before creating man. So when he pronounced the judgment on Adam and Eve, you can see that salvation plan is given there in Genesis itself, chapter 3. So verse 15 we read, I'll put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. So this is talking about Mother Mary and Jesus, right? I will put enmity between you and the woman. To the serpent he is saying, right? To the devil. I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. Right? So he had that salvation plan already in his mind, right? Because he knew in his infinite wisdom, he knew that man will sin and fall from that state of grace. So you should think about all this, right? When we meditate on this creation, we should actually meditate on God's love. How much love he has put into that creation, right? So he has planned everything for us. He has created everything for man. The earth and the plants and the trees and the animals and every beautiful thing he has created for man. And even he has planned for his salvation as well. He knew that man will fall and he'll fall from that state of grace. So he had that salvation plan also in his mind. So how great is his love. So we should always meditate and reflect on the depths of God's love. So all these thoughts came to me when I was memorizing Hebrews chapter 1 verse 10. So let me just read that again so that it is easy for you to memorize. Hebrews chapter 1 verse 10. And you, Lord, founded the earth in the beginning, and the heavens are the work of your hands. And you, Lord, founded the earth in the beginning, and the heavens are the work of your hands. Thank you. God bless you all.